Blue Jays, best team in baseball, just swept the Padres. Good morning, YouTube. Um, Had a nice little preamble with the Patreon. So this episode is going to be short. We're going to do three studs and a dud. We're going to recap sweeping the Padres, what that means for us. Also, going to look at our pitching staff and some possible trade solutions out there. Scott's away, so again, you're probably here for the awesome banter. Brian, nice to see you. Um, Probably here for the awesome banter. It's a banterless episode. Scott's away. It's just me. I got my fun times hat on, so you know we're having fun. Um, yeah, Blue Jays, greatest team in baseball. Probably an overreaction, but also that's baseball. Being a fan is a roller coaster. You have your 10-game losing streaks, you panic. You have your 10-game winning streaks, you go buy a jersey. This is where we're at right now. Not a 10-game winning streak, but it's looking good right now. Just won three in a row against the Padres. We did, man, I'm looking at the schedule here. It's like, oh, it hasn't even been that good. We lost the series to the Rays. We lost the series to the Tigers, and then we swept the Padres, and I'm on cloud nine. It feels like we've won 7 of the last 9 games. In reality, we've won 5 of the last 9 games. We're 5-4 in our last 9, 6-4 in our last 10. We're almost at the end of May, and we are a 500-ish team. 1 game over 500 right now. I didn't think we'd be here at the end of April, early May. Looking at what the schedule was, I thought it'd be worse than it is. So I'm pleasantly surprised. We're keeping our heads above water. Reinforcements are on the way. Dalton Varsho, welcome back to Toronto. Yeah, let's start with 3 studs and a dud while we're at it. Stud this week. I went back and forth on this. Stud number 3. Some of you might think, oh, that's too low. This guy fucking raked. A 982 OPS, no home runs, but a 381 batting average. 8 hits and 21 at-bats, including 3 doubles. Addison Barger, stud number 3 this week. Got to change that walk-up song. Am I right, Ernie Clement? Addison Barger, stud number 3. Very good. Very happy with him. Stud number 2, 2 strong pitching candidates this week. But we're going with the guy that gave us the extra inning. Kevin Gausman, aka Gary Gausman. 7 innings, 0 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. Just a dominant performance from Gausman. So that was the 14-0 win against the Padres. So great performance from him. Turns out we didn't need it, but also this is the value in big offense. When you've got big offense, your starting pitcher gets a little bit more breathing room, right? He doesn't have to grip the ball so tight. He's not worried about pitching in a 1-1 game where if I walk this guy or if I do this, we're fucked, right? So he could be out there a little bit free and loose. He's coming off a bad start in his last one. Came out, really showed up. Yeah, Gausman, I don't know what else to say other than what was absolutely stellar for us. You know what? Actually, as I'm saying this, I realize it was a 14-0 game. It was 2-0 until the 7th. So the entirety of Gausman pitching through 7 innings, it was either 0-0 or 2-0. So I take back everything I just said. All the runs came late. 5 in the bottom of 7. Gausman had left the game. 7 runs in the bottom of 8. Still, it's good. It's good. Gausman, stud number 2. Honorable mention. We'll just get to this right now because it's on the same category here. Honorable mention, Chris Bassett. Great once again. 6 innings pitched, 6 Ks, no earned runs. Electric from Chris Bassett. But Gausman gets the tiebreaker there because of the extra inning pitched, which is a big thing. So there you go. Gausman, stud number 2, Bassett, honorable mention, which leaves us with your first stud of the week. We just talked about him. Dalton Varsho. Man, is this guy ever good? Elite defense. This week, he's finally back to a full-time role. 6 games, 25 at-bats, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Only a 200 batting average. So we're still like, okay, like whatever. It's not, batting average could come up, please. But slugging, 600, 2 home runs helps, 2 doubles, and a triple. He was the triple in extra innings that became the winning run in that game against the Padres there the other day. So there you go. Dalton Varsho is playing hot. It's as good as it gets. I was just talking on the Patreon before we started this. He's still leading the Blue Jays in home runs, despite playing like a third as many games. 7 home runs leads the Blue Jays for Dalton Varsho. 6 for Vladdy, 6 for Santander. They've each played close to 50 games. Varsho at 17. And then to put this in perspective, stats leaders, Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Schwarber, 17 home runs each. That's through 50 games and 48 games for Schwarber and Ohtani, respectively. 17 games for Dalton Varsho. He has 7 home runs. So just multiply that by 3, gets you a quick, nice 51 games played, 21 home runs. So he's on a 21 home run pace if he had played roughly the same amount of games as Schwarber and Ohtani. So as much as they're having an awesome start to the season, I think Ohtani is on a 60 home run pace. So let's see, what is that for Dalton Varsho? 162 divided by 17, 9.529, 41176. I don't know why I said the full decimal. We times that by the 7 home runs he has. 67 home run pace for Dalton Varsho. Obviously not sustainable. Home runs come in bunches. But man, is it ever nice to see power in that bat from Dalton Varsho. So hopefully whatever changes he's made, he just sticks with. And I hope it works out. Like if he can end the season with 30, 35 home runs and a platinum glove in center field, I don't care what his batting average is. I do not care what his batting average is. Mike Trout, I think. Oops, no, that's Mike Myers. Mike Trout hasn't played since April 30th, but he was mashing home runs this year. So he had 9 home runs through 29 games, but a 179 batting average for Mike Trout. Yikes. 29 games played this year, also 29 games played last year. So, 82 the year before, 119 the year before, 36 in 2021. 2020, he played 53. Out of 60, that's the closest he's had to a full season in years. Holy. Mike Trout won the MVP in 2019. That was the juice ball year. Only played 134 games that year. Year before, 140 games. 2018. Year before, 114 games. Still finished 4th in MVP votes. 159, 159, 157, 157. That's ages 24 through 21. Mike Trout, man, just can't stay on the field. Like, he would absolutely go down as just one of the all-time, like, generational talents. Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, Mike Trout. You know, man, not being able to stay on the field, and he's on the wrong side of 30. It's only going to get worse. That is just devastating. Devastating stuff for Mike Trout. Anyways, Dalton Varsho, your stud number one this week. There you go. On to the duds. Not as fun to talk about. I went back and forth on these two, but your dud this week, despite a couple good outings, blew another save. Jeff Hoffman. We did bail him out. We did win it in extra innings, so he's a little bit off the hook there. But Hoffman, 3 innings pitched over 3 games, just 3 strikeouts, and gave up 2 runs, including the 1 home run against the Padres there yesterday. So Hoffman, uneasy. It's unsettling. The ERA is big right now, although with closers pitching, 1 inning at a time, the ERA goes up pretty quick. So, like I said, he had 2 good outings this week. On the 17th against the Tigers, 1 inning pitched, zeros across the board. Against the Padres, same thing, 1 inning, zeros across the board. And then that last one against the Padres gave up 2 earned runs. So I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting to making him the dud, but the shine on Jeff Hoffman is just worn off. Looking at his game log, so the first half of the year, end of March through end of April, and honestly, if we wanted to cherry pick these stats, we could go a little bit midway April, and man, do those numbers ever look crazy good. But let's just say till the end of April, ERA 1.17. Pretty good. 1 home run in the first month of the season. Since May 1st, loading. We're only 75% of the way through the month. 4 home runs. The ERA has exploded to 16.71. Jordan Romano, on the other hand, remember how much we were teasing him? And Phillies fans? So Romano through April. No, not loading. As of May 1st, Jordan Romano had an ERA of 9.53. He's gotten it down to 6.87. Whereas Jeff Hoffman started with an ERA of around 1, and it is now ballooned up to 6.04. So 2 months into the season, very similar season totals. Yeah, Jeff Hoffman really felt elite early in the season. But this is why we always say small sample size. Small sample size. Still feel, I want to say good about him. Whatever one level under good is, I don't feel good about him, but I feel close to good about him. There you go. Jeff Hoffman, your dud this week. Dishonorable mention. Sorry. Bowden Francis. 2 starts. 2 starts this week. First one was good from Bowden. 4 2/3 innings. Nope. What am I looking at? Sorry, I was looking at the wrong time frame. Francis, first start, 4 earned runs through 4 2/3 innings with 2 home runs given up. Went 95 pitches. in the 5-4 loss to Detroit. And then most recently, that game against the Padres yesterday, 2 earned runs through 4 innings, only got 77 pitches into the game. Ah, man, Bowden Francis, this is not a good run he's having. We talked about the first month versus the last month. If we look at the first 5 starts out of Bowden Francis, ERA 3.58 through 27 innings pitched. That was the first 5 starts. His 5 starts since then, it's had 10 starts on the season. Only 22 innings pitched, so 5 fewer innings. So it's gone down a full inning per game. And the ERA is ballooned to almost 8, 7.94. So just terrible differences with Bowden Francis. Leads me to say, I think we only have 3.5 starting pitchers in our rotation. Gausman bounced back. He's looking good. Bassett is bassetting. Had a little bit of a rough stretch at the start of May, but has bounced back really nicely in his last 2 starts. Barrios is going to Barrios. Like, he's going to be elite one day, and why do we have this guy on the team the next day? That game against the Rays on the 13th of May, so 10 days ago, 5 earned runs over 5 innings. And then the last one against Detroit, we did lose, but just 2 earned runs over 6. Let's look at these numbers for our pitchers through 10 starts here. Everyone has pitched 10 times. So Bassett, ERA of 2.83 and a whip of 1.221. 57 innings pitched. Barrios, 58 innings pitched, a whip of 1.431 and an ERA of 4.19. Not thrilled with either of those numbers. Gausman, an ERA of 4.03, also 58 innings pitched, so tied for the lead with Barrios. But this whip is under 1, 0.983 for a whip. Yeah, he's I don't know what the issue is. He's given up 7 bombs this year. I don't know how you have an ERA that high and a whip that low. It's a weird anomaly. Bowden Francis, if we go to his numbers, a whip of 1.41 and an ERA of 5.5. So, I don't know, a couple 4s in those ERAs. Bassett is like a solid number 2, a really good number 3. Not our ace, but statistically, he's our best guy. So where do we go from here? How do we fix this? Can this be fixed? This is the question with this team right now. Obviously, the offense has been good as of late. Run totals: 7, 14, 3, 2, 2, 4, 3, 3, 9, 9, 6, 6, 8. Like, May has been a good month offensively. You know, we're averaging, I'm not actually going to do the math on this, but, you know, 5-ish, 6-ish runs a game. There's some highs in there with 14 that inflates it. There's a couple low ones where we get shut out or put up 1. You know, those will happen. But a lot of 6s, 8s, 5s, and 9s in there too. So the bats are starting to come alive. Thank you, Dalton Varsho. The rookies are playing well. The pitching is shaky at best. Hoffman hasn't been lights out like he was at the start of the year. Scherzer's still out. Everybody else is overworked. Our starting pitchers refuse to go deep into a game. Where do we go? Here is an MLB.com article. 6 teams that could jumpstart the trade market. This is by Mark Feinsand from yesterday. So this summer's trade deadline is still more than 2 months away, but as the Marlins taught us last spring, it's never too early to start thinking about potential moves. Miami dealt Luis Ariz to the Padres on May 4th, jumping the trade market by several weeks. So it goes on to just highlight some other likely candidates that could go early, pull the trigger early. Marlins, of course, there. Nationals, Pirates, Rockies. No surprise there. The Orioles, I mean, right now doesn't feel like a surprise, but if you had said this in March, you'd think crazy talk. We're not getting any help from the Orioles. They're not trading in the division. I don't want to go through every team. I don't want to go through the Nationals and the Pirates and whatever. What I do want to look at is Sandy Alcantara of the Marlins. Would this be a good fit for the Jays? Starting pitcher, Sandy Alcantara. Cy Young winner. What year did he win that? 2 years ago, was it 2023? It's 2022, he won the Cy Young. So, 228 innings pitched as a 26-year-old for the Marlins. Won the Cy Young, was 10th in MVP votes. Had a whip of 980. ERA of 2.28. This is following a track record of a whole career worth of good ERA. So, as a rookie with St. Louis, he pitched 8 times. None of them were starts. So a 4.32 ERA out of the bullpen, limited action. He's a 21-year-old rookie, whatever. The next season was a starter in Miami, not a full season. 6 starts, 3.44 ERA. The rest of the way, full starts. 3.88 ERA, 3.00, 3.19. And then in 2022, that Cy Young season, 2.28 over 32 starts and 228 innings pitched. Just an absolute stud. And then in age 27 in 2023, a 4.14 ERA across 28 starts. Turns out the elbow was sore. So that explains the down numbers because he missed all of 2024 with Tommy John surgery. So he did get surgery in October at the end of that 2023 season. And then by the following year, so last off season in September, he'd started throwing live batting practice again. So he's been pitching for about 9 months after missing a full year recovering from Tommy John. The numbers this year, I'm going to say, don't look good. He looks very pedestrian. Maybe that's a generous term. Through 9 starts, just 41 innings pitched. Remember, Bowden Francis has 10 starts. The worst guy in our rotation still has 50 innings pitched. Barrios, Gossman, Bassett, all around 58. So Sandy Alcantara, 1 fewer start, but a lot fewer innings. So he's not going deep into games. A 7.99 ERA and a whip of 1.6. Why would we want Sandy Alcantara then? Because he's on the right side of 30. He is 29 years old. He'll be 30 this year. I think there's reason to believe, and again, we do kind of just, I'm going to say this with the asterisk, I'm going to address that right now. We do have a tendency to just assume Tommy John is no big deal, even though it still is. It's a massive surgery. Um, but it's come so far that it's just the likelihood is not the long shot that it used to be for you to recover and still have a successful career after Tommy John. And I think that's what we're going to see with that Sandy Alcantara. I think he's thrown his worst baseball of his career as he continues to ramp back up, um, get back into game shape, get back into a rhythm. I think this has buy low candidate written all over it. Only question is, you know, would the Marlins feel the same way that I just explained, right? That like, hey, he's a Cy Young winner very recently. He's still young. And guess what? He's on a super affordable contract, not for the Marlins. So in 2022, he signed a 5-year, $56 million contract with the Marlins, including a club option. Um, those cheap years to start are now gone, and all there's left is the back end, backloaded last 3 years of this deal. So he's due for 17 million this year, 17 million next year, and then a club option for 21 million in 2027. So this year plus 2 more years, even if this year isn't good, like even if he just kind of like settles in and ends up being a number 5 guy in our rotation, he could be our ace for next season. Like very real ace potential. And to get him for 17 million, 21 million for those 2 years is like an absolute steal. We were talking last week, maybe Monday, maybe mailbag. Scott and I were chatting about, maybe shipping off Gary Gossman at the deadline, free up some money to go spend on a nice, big, sexy free agent starting pitcher this offseason. Maybe just jump the line. I don't know. I don't know what the market's like for a Sandy Alcantara. I think the potential for a massive return on the investment is there. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen this year. So I think that the typical guys that you think are in on a guy, like for a rental, like the Dodgers might go for a Kevin Gossman. Maybe not. Maybe not Gossman. Maybe Bassett. Dodgers might be in on a Bassett. Like expiring contract. There's no long-term commitment, but Dodgers have had their problems with their starting rotation staying healthy. Bassett could absolutely be an amazing number 5 on the Dodgers or a number 4, right? He could absolutely be that guy. Ugh, as I'm saying this, I hadn't thought about this, but as I'm saying this just makes so much sense. I don't think the Jays would trade Bassett, though. Not this season. Not the way we're playing right now. Wheels would really have to fall off over the next 6 weeks to get rid of Bassett. But yeah, Sandy Alcantara, that is a longer term investment. That is like still a pretty small risk, man. This deal's so good for a Cy Young winner who's 30. 17, 17, 21. What are we paying our guys right now? Chris Bassett, 22 million. Jose Barrios, 19 this year, 19 next, then a player opt-out available. 24 the 2 years after that. I don't know if he'd leave. I don't know if he'd opt out or not. And then Gossman, 23 million this year, 23 million next year. You can get Sandy Alcantara for less money than Bassett, Gossman, or Barrios. Like, even if he gave you Bowden Francis numbers for the rest of this year, that's still a huge win, right? Better than Easton Lucas. I don't know. Sandy Alcantara. I don't know if we have the capital to get an Easton Lucas. I don't know what the Marlins would be looking for in return, but did I say Easton Lucas? Sorry, Sandy Alcantara. This is a guy where the ceiling is through the roof. The numbers have been bad this year, but pretty easy to explain those away with, well, he's recovering from Tommy John. Like the whole season might be a bit of a write-off as he works back into shape. You might have to be willing to eat that. I think the Jays are the perfect team to eat that. A team that needs a new ace for the starting rotation. We need to be building beyond this season. Like, it's not a rebuild, but the moves we make have to be a little bit long term. They need to have a little bit of a vision to it. Like when we traded Simeon Woods Richardson and Austin Martin for Jose Barrios, great trade. So if we can do something similar to that, who's the Blue Jays prospects here? Blue Jays prospects. Arjun Namala, high A, Trey Savage, high A, 19, 21 years old. Or Elvis Martinez. Eh? Or Elvis? Ricky Tiedemann? You guys don't understand. Simeon Woods Richardson was a guy we were excited about 5 years ago. Like he was in that wave of Nate Pearson, Simeon Woods Richardson, Alek Manoah. Like that was our future rotation that we were kind of like, ooh, like even if one of these guys works out, this is awesome. So like, I don't know, if I'm the Miami Marlins, Ricky Tiedemann might really appeal to me. Yeah, we have the capital to get Sandy Alcantara, I would say. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow, but so was when we got Jose Barrios. It was tough. Austin Martin was a former, I think, 5th overall pick, but he also fell to us. Has been I think, a bust since then. What's Austin Martin's numbers? Austin Martin? IN. So he is currently in AAA. He did play in the majors last year with the Twins. A 253 batting average. Not bad. No power. 1 home run. And a 670 OPS. So he's back down in AAA. He's 26 years old. Got an OPS of 1.007. But yeah, like that was a scary one to lose at the time. Or Elvis, do we believe in him? What's he doing this year? In AAA Buffalo, he's got 5 home runs, a 198 batting average. Ooh, 45 to 15. That's his strikeout to walk ratio. 3-1. And an OPS of 660. That's concerning. But if you're the Marlins and you're looking for guys that have upside, Elvis isn't without his warts, but he's got upside. He's got real power upside. There's a sales pitch to be made there. Ricky Tiedemann, 6'4", 220-pound lefty. Could be the next Sandy Alcantara. Full 7 years of control left ahead of him. And he's just 22, coming off his own Tommy John surgery. But yeah, if you wanted Sandy Alcantara, you're probably getting rid of Tiedemann. I don't know what the value is, what the trade value is on a Elvis anymore. I don't know if he even moves the needle. But like we talked about with Scott, Arjun Namala probably has international value, that the Blue Jays and that Rogers would like to capitalize on. So he's probably not going anywhere. He's in Vancouver right now. He is the number one prospect for the Blue Jays. Probably not going anywhere, but man, I don't know. We got some guys. We got some guys. We could make a package for Sandy Alcantara. I think some people are going to be shocked at how much we have to pay. And then I think there's also going to be some people that are like, whoa, we got an absolute steal. That's the thing with prospects, right? So hard to value and judge a prospect. Like we have such minimal data on all these prospects and we go off prospect rankings, but that never matches like what their internal rankings are. And then even so, what the Jays internal rankings are versus what the Marlins internal rankings are, right? What their scouting department says about Ricky Tiedemann or whoever, right? I don't know. Would you be willing to part with Ricky Tiedemann for a Sandy Alcantara? I feel absolutely I would. He's one of the few guys that I would, but man, Cy Young upside, like it's like Alek Manoah, but better, you know? Still on a good deal, like it's 3 years, pretty good price, really good price. I don't know, 2.5 year rental for a 22-year-old pitcher prospect that, I mean, tough, big lefties that fucking fireball are tough to find though. So maybe you can't move. Maybe you can't move from Ricky Tiedemann. You got to just, even if he busts, you say, well, we had to hope. All right, well, that's it. Let's wrap it up there. It's been a good Friday podcast. We still made it 35-ish minutes. So thank you, YouTube. If you wanted a longer episode, join the Patreon, $5 a month. Gets you all the preamble. Every time we do a show, we're rambling, we're having fun. A lot of it's non-baseball stuff, a lot of it's life, a lot of it's venting, a lot of it's complaining. We're talking everything from parking lots to tattoo etiquette to you name it. It's a lot of fun. Also, priority seating for the mailbag and interaction, stuff in the Discord. A lot of fun, good community. You guys are the best grounds crew in the world and appreciate it. We'll catch you guys Monday for the Patreon, MLB Mondays, and otherwise Tuesday. Let me know your thoughts on the Sandy Alcantara stuff. I'd really love to deep dive that with Scott on Tuesday. So let me know what you think and cheers, and we'll see you guys. Have a good weekend.